Alright, because I forgot to mention this in the video, I have to briefly speak with you all. So, I'm very surprised at the amount of subscribers we gained yesterday. I think we gained an astounding almost 19 subscribers. What the hell? Anyways, so as I forgot to mention this in the video, please look in the description below and look for that Discord link, as I often interact with that Discord, and it's just like very nice to see people joining and all that kind of stuff. But now, let the video begin. Hello everyone, this is Rose Gold, and today we're getting into part 4, where Naruto was an Otsutsuki. So I am writing this part before part 3 even dropped. So I don't know how well it did, but judging by part 2, I want to once again thank you, but of course it needs to be done. Only about 12% of the people who watch these videos are subscribed, and if you want to be PogChamp, then you should subscribe. And of course, like and comment. But now let's get straight into part 4. Now we of course start off right before part 3 had ended. After training with Sasuke and Sakura for a good while, he was taking a break and going to the hot springs, meeting someone else there. A white-haired man was standing in the hot springs, looking through the tiniest gap to look at all the women over in the next bath, looking rather excited, and when one walked by, he flew back with a nosebleed. Naruto, seeing him, was still kind of the same, so he peeped a bit as well, until they were both caught and slapped over the head by an old woman who had walked in for cleaning with a broom. Now Jiraiya and Naruto were outside. Naruto was pretty curious about the man and then asked who he was, and Jiraiya replied with, "I am one of the three legendary Sani, Jiraiya." Naruto, having read a lot and had heard about him, but he found it pretty hilarious how pervy this legend was. Now Naruto wasn't the only one who was quite intrigued by the other. Jiraiya could sense very well and was awestruck at the power he had felt. This was the ninth Jinchuriki, and Jiraiya, knowing his destiny, decided to take action. When Naruto asked Jiraiya to maybe train him, the other avidly agreed, deciding to take this weird-looking kid under his wing, so they started training. First, Jiraiya taught him how to walk on water, which proved to be quite difficult for the young boy. Naruto was like an Omega prodigy, so he was still able to master both this and the other thing. He had gotten access to the tiniest amount of Nine-Tailed chakra and was now able to release it. If you want a representation of how much he could use, it was about as much as in the fight with Neji, or maybe a bit less. Now we're going to be skipping ahead to the middle of the Forest of Death, when Orochimaru tried to have one of his snake eat Naruto while he was taking a leak. The snake was overwhelmed by a crap ton of shadow clones, but not until about where it happened in the original. But when Naruto saw Orochimaru hurting his teammates, he got access to more Nine-Tailed chakra than ever before, and started to go ham, actually killing one of the snakes and hurting the other, causing Orochimaru to strengthen his seal as to prevent Naruto from becoming even more of a threat. Everything else in the forest went as usual, but that their speed was score was now better than the original, but not by as much as you might think. But Sasuke still gotten his curse mark. Now they had another week of training, which Naruto and Jiraiya used to train the summoning jutsu and to give him better access to the Ninth chakra. But he still didn't master the summoning jutsu. So yeah, Kiba got freaking destroyed by Naruto, so we don't need to talk about that. But in the fight against Neji, Naruto was furious at how Neji humiliated Hinata, almost jumping in as to stop Neji from hurting her even more. But the Jonin were already there, making him sigh in relief, feeling confident at how well the preliminaries had gone. Of course, Sasuke destroyed his opponent, and Sakura still had that fight with Ino, which was kind of whack. So we'll just gloss over the training they had actually done before the finals. Sasuke was training with Kakashi learning the Chidori. Sakura was actually learning with Kurenai because she was actually a Genjutsu specialist in the series, so I don't want to waste that potential even more. And our boy Naruto was mastering the Rasengan well, not really mastering the Rasengan, he was trying to learn it, but he didn't have as much time because he was still perfecting the summoning jutsu, which he had now finally perfected actually. But he was, of course, nowhere near mastering the Rasengan as Jiraiya, and him still had some more chakra control, and the Nato's draining, of course. Jiraiya had actually removed the seal strengthening that Orochimaru had put on, so Naruto's power had an increase, well, in power as well. When the final rolled around, Naruto was ready to fight even more, excited than ever, and when Naruto realized who his next match was, he was ready to get revenge for Hinata Hyuga. Now you might have realized how Naruto has the Byakugan in the thumbnail. That is just a design choice, so it isn't going to be a Byakugan battle, but still a battle of dojutsu. When Neji and Naruto entered the ring, they both stared at each other. Neji, of course, was as cocky as he always was. My time, once again wasted on another failure. Truly a waste. This got Naruto even more angry. He dared insult Hinata in front of him. His eyes changed from their usual whitish blue to a blood red state that transformed with two Tomei into the three Tomei Sharingan, actually finally awakening him. When Neji saw this, he was surprised but almost even more disgusted. Not only did he have to fight a failure, he had to fight a failure with the dojutsu of failures. And he voiced that opinion out loud, causing Naruto to get angrier and angrier, until releasing a tiny bit of the Nine-Tails chakra. The fight begins! Naruto is gone. As Neji looked around, he was awestruck as he saw small traces of Naruto's chakra jumping around at incredible speeds, until something was behind him, kicking him. Even with him not having a blind spot, he still got kicked into the wall, spitting out blood as Naruto stared at him with hate-filled eyes, until throwing Neji across the entire field. The audience was shocked at this display of power. The Hyuga prodigy easily defeated by the Jinchuriki failure that hadn't even used a single jutsu. When Naruto was finally not when Naruto finally knocked out Neji, he raised his hand in victory, smiling toward the audience. But as he was smiling toward one particular person, Hinata Hyuga, who blushed until smiling as well, then running away in embarrassment. But Naruto still smiled at the crowd. It was silent except for some claps, especially from the Jonins and, of course, the Genins. Of course, the two loudest being Rock Lee and Kai Sensei, who were screaming about how Naruto was the embodiment of the power of youth, and how impressed they were at his taijutsu, which made Naruto laugh until letting the matches continue. So like before, everything else went as normal until Gaara went into a starting to transform state, and the Genjutsu fell upon the crowd. This time Naruto was not caught in the Genjutsu as he was almost immune to it because he still had activated his Sharingan. So he went after Gaara and Sasuke, but he still took care of some of the crowd, which they even thanked him for. When Naruto caught up with them, the fight had gone as normal, so when Naruto saw Gaara hurting Sasuke even more, he flew at him, punching him right in the face, making him fly across the entire forest as Naruto's eyes were red with Tomoe. And also asleep, meaning that he still had his Sharingan activated and his Kyuubi chakra as well. Of course, Gaara did not fly across the entire forest, I just mean like the portion of it, a good portion of it. When Gaara tried to hit him, Naruto dodged almost instantly, hitting him again, causing Gaara to get flung into the ground, creating an impact zone as he spat out blood. But he wasn't going to lose, so he transformed into the full One Tails, which had Naruto stumped. No matter how strong he truly was, he couldn't defeat a tail beast at 12, so he still had to summon Gamabunta, and that all went similar. Gaara getting Takno Jutsu'd and all. After the Chunin exams took place, the Tsunade arc went the exact same way, just that Itachi was surprised at Naruto's Sharingan. After these events took place, Sasuke was jealous of Naruto's powers, so when he finally woke up in hospital, he smacked away Sakura's apples and challenged Naruto to a battle, to which Naruto agreed as usual. When the fight began, Sasuke had the upper hand at first, as Naruto was holding back a ton. But when Naruto slowly stopped holding back bit by bit, Sasuke was overpowered until they tried to still do their Rasengan Chidori clash, which was stopped by Kakashi. Now this time Naruto's Rasengan still looked like the original, but the back of the water tower was so completely destroyed that they could see perfectly through the hole into the sky. Now I'm going to end this part off right here. I hope you all liked the video, maybe subscribe, and of course comment down in the description to interact with me. Also, of course, join the Discord in the description. This was Rose Gold, and I am out.